ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a parody film from 2009. That movie is Helsing. Now, I don't know a lot about this movie, guys. In fact, I can tell you everything I know right now. First of all, I know this movie is going to feature parodies of modern horror film icons, people such as Freddy and Jason and Chucky and Pinhead, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. In fact, that's all the ones we see on the cover. And looking at the cover, not a single one of them looks as if they're going to be handled in any way that's going to be interesting or funny. But hey, there still might be some hope there. Now, I also know that this is written and directed by a man named Bo Zenga. Now, Bo Zenga has a little bit of an interesting history. You see, he was one of the men who worked on Scary Movie, the first one, which stands head and shoulders above every other parody film to come out in the last 15 years. Partially because it was the film that opened the floodgates for all these stupid parody films to come out. So yes, he worked on that, and that was awesome. But he also wrote Soul Plane, and he's also the writer and director of this thing. The very fact that the writer of Soul Plane was even allowed to write another movie makes me question the sanity of man and makes me question the existence of God, but I'm not going to dwell on that, because you know what? Soul Plane may have been complete shit, and it by all rights was. But this might still be good. I mean, this thing here could easily harken back to when Mr. Zenga was working on the first Scary Movie. It's kind of doubtful, but goddammit, I'm going to have my, hopes here. Because if I don't have any hope, there's no way in hell I am pushing play on this. So I'm hoping that this movie has something salvageable and something worth seeing. And the only way I'm going to find out if it does have anything worth seeing is if I shut up and I push play. And I'm going to do that right now. I don't really want to, but damn it, I'm going to suffer through this. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Helsing. Alright guys, well, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is the jokes here have all been complete misfires. The good news is, at least the jokes aren't as bad as what was in Soul Plane, so there is still that little shred of hope. Alright guys, I've been rather patient, hoping for at least some joke in this movie to make me smile, and not even the overly forced horror movie references are making me grin. This movie is getting horrifically bad with every passing second, and I am kind of hoping for it to end quickly, and I know that's not gonna fucking happen. You know, guys, at this point, I'd be happy if even just one joke in this movie was actually funny. Just one joke. That is all I'm asking for, is I want at least a joke that's going to make me fucking smile. I'm not even asking to laugh at this point. I just want to see something at least a little bit witty. Is that too much to ask at this point? I fear it probably is. Wow. I didn't think this movie would be this unfunny, guys. All of a sudden, I'm feeling really sorry for pissing away the $2 I spent to buy this fucking movie. I was really hoping, guys, for something, anything. No, I haven't gotten shit. This is awful. Guys, I would love to meet the man who wrote this. I would love to meet Bo fucking Zenga. Specifically to ask him, at what point was any of this shit going to be funny? I would love to hear an answer from him. In fact, hell, at this point, I am demanding an answer. At what point is any of this bullshit supposed to be fucking funny? Well, guys, that was Helsing, and mercifully this pile of shit is done. Good. fucking God. Okay. Wow. I've seen a lot of bad parody movies in my time. This one certainly high up there on the list of bad ones. Mind you, it's still not as bad as the previous parody film I forced myself to sit through, which was The Starving Games, but still, this was shit. Oh my God! Look at that, guys! I finally get a laugh, and it's me admitting this movie was a piece of crap. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about oh fuck me dead the writing. Oh, for the love of God, where the hell to even start with fucking writing? The jokes. What fucking... No, wait, correction, there actually were jokes, just... They were all so forced. Guys, I'm going to tell you what this movie had as the pinnacle of witty humor. At one point, our main characters see an ice cream truck that's selling rocket pops shaped like dicks. The person selling said dick-shaped rocket pops... to young children, I should mention, selling these dick-shaped rocket pops to young children, is Michael Jackson. Ha 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 ha. They run into an altar boy who's almost a priest. He's this close to being a priest, so he has to fondle every male character he can get. Well, correction, he just fondles Stan a lot. Why? Because he's almost a priest. He's this close to being a priest. That's the entire joke. Oh God, is there anything else that was just? Well, also all of the monster parodies really sucked. Just guys, there was nothing here. The humor here was either incredibly juvenile or so forced that there is no humor to be found. Or it's both. It's both really forced and incredibly juvenile. And ultimately, guys, the whole thing just leads to you having a movie with nothing funny, with no real reason to continue to watch, and it is nothing shy of a miracle that I didn't shut this stupid thing off after a half an hour. But I opted to press on, and I really don't know why. This movie was just that bad. The writing here goes even worse, guys, because it's not just that our jokes suck, but we're following these four main characters, none of which have even the slightest shred of personality. The closest thing we have to a character trait is one of them is a ditzy blonde who probably has a fucking IQ in the single digits, who used to be a stripper but is now a massage therapist, and her whole reason for being there is to crack off as many stupid jokes as possible, and to also pop off about 90% of the sex jokes that are in this movie. By the way, yeah, there's a ton of sex jokes, there's tons and tons of toilet humor, and mind you, normally all of that is fine if it's handled right, if it's done well, but it's not done well here, and it's not handled right here. It's handled very poorly, and it ultimately leaves you wondering why the hell you bothered with the movie at all. Now, mind you, that, guys, is just my own personal position on this. I do know some people are really into toilet humor and sex jokes, no matter how poorly told they are. Those sorts of people are probably going to absolutely adore this. However, if your taste in humor is a little bit more cultured, you're not going to want this. Or even, guys, if you at least ask for a little bit of taste in your crude humor and sex jokes. Well, not taste. Taste, because it has to still be funny. And it didn't do that here. Guys, I cannot think of a single interesting fucking bit of this movie in terms of writing. Our cast, there are 2 cast members I can tell you by name. And those are Kenan Thompson, who I've seen do far better work, and Leslie Nielsen. This being one of the last things Leslie Nielsen worked on before he died, which is incredibly tragic that one of the last things he worked on was this ungodly pile of shit. And it makes me feel really sorry for Leslie Nielsen having to sit through this, especially since his entire contribution to the film is that he plays a waitress in this fucking bar, and that's it. His character really serves no other purpose than to essentially be the voice of he's there essentially as the voice of the town. And I'm going to assume that that's the only reason why they got named talent such as Leslie Nielsen to do that, so that way they would have a little bit of star power, even though they don't even try to announce it on the cover, except, well, you can see Leslie, Nielsen in drag on the cover, but it doesn't look like Leslie Nielsen. Anyway, guys, so yeah, casting here kind of sucked, but also, mind you, we had those 2 bits of name talent. Nobody here turned in anything that was halfway decent, but then again, when you're handed a script this bad, I don't care how many times I have to say this over the course of this series, when you are handed a script this absolutely ungodly bad, there is no fucking expectation for you to turn in anything good. I will say that at least the cast tried. And bless them, they fucking tried, but it wasn't enough. And or correction, they tried as best they could. So I can't even dump on the acting, because the acting would probably have been vastly better if the script were in any way good. And this movie, on top of Soul Plane, has taught me I am never touching another film written by Bo Zenga for the rest of my days. The man does not know how to write humor. The man doesn't know the first thing about writing humor, characters, story, anything. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, let's move on to special effects. Well, the makeup effects are halfway decent. I guess I can say that. Mind you, though, now they aren't, great, but at least they aren't terrible. Makeup effects here are halfway decent. Special effects, I do not remember any real special effects in this movie. It's almost all just makeup effects, and that's fine. The makeup effects are okay. I'm not going to complain much. Music. The score here kind of sucks, and the music kind of sucks, but I have a feeling that the music was supposed to suck because almost all of the soundtrack music we hear is either shitty music playing on the radio, or in many cases, it's people poorly singing at a karaoke bar. And that is kind of torturous. And I'm going to assume that was done intentionally to kind of sort of pick at the fact that most people who sing at karaoke bars suck. So that also we can throw onto the mountain of wit this movie's working with. Yes, people who sing at karaoke bars suck. Ha, my sides are splitting. Lighting here is done competently, and camera work is done competently. Ultimately, guys, this whole thing is brought down by its fucking script. Everything else here is done done well, or at least done well fucking enough. It's just that the script was so bad that there was no way you could salvage this. And it's because of that, guys, that I cannot recommend Stan Helsing for any reason at all. There is nothing here that is going to be worth, watching, because mind you guys, now in order to see the makeup effects and in order to see the, attempt at acting, you have to sit through this horrific script for 90 minutes. And I would not wish that on my worst enemy. The very fact that I pissed away $2 on this thing makes me really wish I didn't waste the fucking $2. I cannot recommend this. And guys, if this thing is on Hulu, or if it's on Netflix, or if it's on any other streaming service, don't bother. If somebody's uploaded this thing onto YouTube, don't bother. bother. There are vastly better things you can do with 90 minutes. This thing should not be viewed by anybody unless you absolutely despise yourself and want to suffer. I learned that because I was stupid enough to give this piece of shit a chance. Believe me, guys, I do not want anybody else to suffer through this awful movie. Now, with all of the horrific and poorly done horror movie parodies here, I'm going to go watch a couple of the movies that this awful thing was trying to parody. I'm going to go watch some Hellraiser. I'm going to go watch some Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know. I need to watch something good. This thing, I am just in a really bad mood right now, guys, after sitting through this thing. So, with that, guys, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.